Good evening, you're watching Global Pulse 24. Tonight, we examine rising tensions in the Middle East after strong signals from Iran, directed towards Saudi Arabia, alongside growing questions about the security role of the United States in the region. While there has been no formal declaration of conflict, analysts say the rhetoric alone is enough to raise concerns across global markets, including here in the United Kingdom. A fragile regional balance. Iran and Saudi Arabia have long competed for influence across the Middle East. Although diplomatic relations were restored in recent years, trust remains limited. The Gulf region remains strategically critical. It controls key oil shipping routes and energy infrastructure that supply Europe and the UK. Any instability in this corridor can have direct consequences for fuel prices, trade routes, and financial markets. Recent military signaling and political statements from Tehran suggest a renewed warning. Regional powers should not rely entirely on foreign security guarantees. Iran's strategic message. Officials in Iran have emphasized their defensive capabilities, particularly missile and drone systems. Analysts believe the message is not necessarily a call for immediate confrontation, but rather a strategic reminder of Iran's capacity to respond if threatened. The underlying implication appears to question whether external allies, especially the United States, would intervene decisively in the event of escalation. For Gulf nations, that question carries serious implications. Saudi Arabia's position. Saudi Arabia has responded cautiously, maintaining a diplomatic tone while reaffirming its security readiness. Riyadh continues to invest heavily in defense systems and regional partnerships. At the same time, it is focused on economic transformation projects designed to diversify away from oil dependency. A major regional conflict would threaten investor confidence and disrupt long-term development strategies. The United States factor. The United States has historically maintained a strong military presence in the Gulf. However, shifting global priorities, including commitments in Europe and the Indo-Pacific, have prompted debate about the scale and speed of future American responses in Middle Eastern crises. Washington has reiterated its commitment to regional allies, yet analysts note that modern geopolitical strategy often avoids large-scale direct military engagement unless absolutely necessary. For the UK, this dynamic matters significantly. Britain maintains defense cooperation agreements and economic partnerships across the Gulf region. Any instability could impact both diplomatic and economic interests. Why this matters for the UK. For British viewers, the immediate concern is not military escalation on UK soil, but economic ripple effects. The Middle East remains central to global oil supply. Even limited disruption could affect petrol prices, inflation trends, and supply chains across Europe. Additionally, the UK government closely monitors maritime security in key shipping lanes. British naval assets have previously participated in multinational efforts to protect commercial vessels in regional waters. A prolonged standoff could require increased diplomatic engagement from London. Possible scenarios ahead. Security experts outline 3 realistic paths forward. 1. Diplomatic containment. Quiet negotiations reduce tensions before escalation. 2. Proxy-level pressure. Indirect regional tensions without direct state-to-state war. 3. Broader confrontation. A scenario that would significantly impact global energy markets. At present, most analysts believe diplomatic containment remains the most likely outcome. However, the tone of recent messaging suggests that the regional balance remains delicate. Conclusion. For now, tensions remain largely rhetorical. But in geopolitics, rhetoric itself can shift markets and alliances. The key question is whether current signals are part of strategic deterrence or the early stages of a broader regional realignment. We will continue monitoring developments and bring you verified updates as the story unfolds. You're watching Global Pulse 24. Stay informed, stay ahead,